Have another beer, buddy.
Chatty chat chat chat. I think that they probably said that being shorter is advantageous.
Well, they need to teach me then. There you go. So we had to poke a little fun at him. Call you Ginger Swag.
Yeah. If you weren't bowlers, what would you have liked to have done instead? Anything else. Literally anything else.
That's a great answer.
The horse is so dead that it's on some kid's school project on a landfill already.
And there you have
that one before.
No. We'll talk about that one.
Terrible idea. Howdy, howdy. Welcome into the stream. I think Jonathan's having some internet connectivity issues, so all kinds of people here already. Thanks for joining us. This is a rare back-to-back episode. We're both, or actually I'm going to be gone next week. I think Jonathan might actually be gone next week too. Or maybe I don't know, he was traveling a bunch, so stuff smells fantastic. He's been gone a lot. We've got a tournament to go to over the weekend, and so it was going to be a couple weeks before we got back to doing another one, so we figured we'd do a back-to-back one. We got some stuff to talk about with the Nationals scores so far. Jonathan was at Greater Ozarks over this last weekend. We're going to be at Southwest in Wichita this upcoming weekend, so we can talk about that. And then we've got.
There we go.
Yeah. So.
Sorry about that. It just kept telling me connection loss, and it was like completely froze.
Yeah. I'm going to do a little flight of the extra good stuff tonight. I've got my buddy Timmy P got me one of the first bottles of the first batch of 14-year tin cup.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
So from Denver. 14 years in new white American oak barrels and then cut to proof with Rocky Mountain water. So.
Have I ever tried that one yet?
Yeah, because he brought it to me at KCO last year. So you've had this one. You haven't had the Aberlour 16, I don't think. I'm not sure if you've had the Writer's Tears yet or not.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Bill got me the Aberlour 16, and then Angel, this was my Christmas present. So
I did have some Blanton's over the weekend. That was really good. I've never had it before. I recommended it to me because got a big Whiskey's there in Springfield. They actually have whiskey on tap. So
yeah,
and then their whiskey menu is just ridiculous, and it was well worth it. So
sweet.
A little tired. Don't mind me. Dealing with some stomach issue, but other than that, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, that and you had a busy weekend too. So
yeah, we got home about 6 or so last night. I think is what time we got home. So been on the go. Feels like for 2 weeks, and I got to do it again this weekend. So
yeah. You get to get back to work and get a little caught up, and then right back out the door. So,
yep, yes, sir. I'll probably just leave straight from work, to be honest with you, on Friday to go to Wichita. I think that's the plan.
Yeah, we'll get you introduced to Central Standard on Friday night, and then hopefully the bowling's not terrible over the weekend, but
hopefully not. Springfield, by the way, they're definitely tough.
So, yeah,
wasn't a lot of big scores. Dylan bowled well in team event. He went 210, 279, 279.
Okay.
That there were no other scores, not any around us either. I mean, honestly, they played pretty similar at both places. They played very similar.
Okay.
The gutters are wet. The middle's hooked. I mean, it's pretty much like it was. It feels like very similar to what was the beaten path pattern, but it feels like they're wetter to the right. So obviously I'm right-handed, so I won't know the left side very well. But they just feel. I don't think you have as much bounce as you did off with the beaten path at Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunshine it's still a flood like normal, but there was no play in the ditch. Like, you know how last year I played up the ditch? Yeah, that's not there. It's just not there. So
yeah, that's kind of what the patterns look like on paper. What it was fairly similar to last year, just tougher.
Yeah, they're tough.
Patterns are a little flatter.
Scores are definitely lower at Enterprise, which is weird to say.
Well, and that's fine, because that's been the one thing of that tournament. It's never been as bad as Southwest with the scores, but it's always been, you know, if you're not shooting 2,200 for all events, you know, aside from the team house, like if you go in there and you shoot 650, you're making a bunch of money in brackets. So I'm sure that Dylan made out well on the bracket side of things.
Trevor didn't bowl that well. Just didn't have much of a look all weekend. He did some things that are uncharacteristic. I watched him, like, to start team event on Saturday, he flagged a 10 pin of all things to start. So he just couldn't get carry going consistently. Yeah. And then Enterprise, he was a couple pairs. No, he was to the left of me at Enterprise, but he just didn't look like he was having fun. So Jerry Gentry, which is my partner, he didn't bowl very well either. I think he shot around 6-0 for doubles. And I had around 590, 580, I think. It just wasn't good.
Yeah.
Execution wasn't there. I started feeling like I was bowling in a phone booth. And it's all good. Move on. They're definitely tougher, though. So.
Yeah, and we'll see how everything shakes out. I mean, if they get to a culture of it being a little bit tougher down there, because there for a while, Sunshine was just been hard. No matter what. It doesn't matter if they put down the easiest house shot in the world. Sunshine's always just been rough. But Enterprise is normally where you get your scores at, and that's what the kind of the running is, that everybody goes and shoots 550 in team, and then they go 750, 750, and salvage a set. So
yeah. No, it's just that at that place, if you can't get anything going, just in Springfield in general, it's always been that way for me. If I'm just not absolutely locked in, it's a grind. It's an absolute grind for me. So, is what it is. Move on this weekend. I know we get to go place. Hopefully the scores are a lot better, and I'm sure this place they'll hook from everywhere like they always do at North Rock. It feels like.
Well, the scores have been crazy. There was somebody that had a 289 triplicate over the weekend.
Was that the one that was at the Southwest?
Yeah.
That's a nice little triplicate. Front 10, 289, front 10, 289, front 10, 289.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's how he.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's the way that it happened.
Was he right-handed? Do we know?
Probably. I don't remember the name.
I didn't recognize the name either. But also, congratulations are in order to Alex George for winning the McPherson Regional, and I did see that. Looked like the championship match was a pretty good one. So.
Yeah, I did go back and watch Evan. Evan live streamed it, and so I did go back and watch that. Yeah, it was a crazy match, and Alex had to have the back four basically, and he did it. The back four for 2-0, and so it didn't. And Alex just pulled away from everybody. Riley led A squad with like he led A squad by like 80 pins. And then B squad was a lot tougher, but you continue to lay the same pattern over and over again, and they get tighter and tighter and tighter, and so the scores kind of started to drop throughout they cut to the top 24, and then they bowled the top 24 6 games, and then they had 6 more games in the top 12, and then they cut to the step ladder. Alex George is the only one that never really lost the look.
Yeah.
So. He was it once he kind of, overtook the lead. He just didn't let go of it.
Every time I see pictures or videos from McPherson now, it always weirds me out. I'm like, oh, that's not McPherson, or that's not Starlight, right? Starlight.
Yeah.
Because it trips me up that I'm so used to seeing wood, because all the videos that Riley's posted over the years of him bowling there.
Yeah.
Oh, I forget that place isn't wood anymore.
Well, and see, it's really interesting too. On a couple lanes, you can really tell the old wood lanes are still underneath there. They just put the synthetics on top of the wood, and so there's an extra normally the gutter kind of hits right at the edge of the lane. The gutter comes up to the edge of the lane. Well, the gutter comes up, and then the lane's like another couple inches higher. The top of the lane's another couple inches higher, and so it's a pretty steep drop off the side down, and it just visually makes the play in the ditch look a little bit more precarious for whatever reason. I guess I don't know.
Interesting.
But
I've never bowled there. I'd always like to go out there and bowl. I wish I could have caught it before they went to synthetic, just because like I've told you, I grew up bowling on wood lanes at Laurel, and I like bowling on them. So you just don't get to find that very often anymore.
No, James got a chance to bowl at the Catholic place in Kansas City or whatever, Overland Park.
That is a very unique little center at the church. Yes.
Yeah, with the above ground ball returns.
Yes.
So
I bowled on it when they had wood. I think they actually have synthetic in there now.
I know they still have wood.
Oh, do they? For some reason, I have synthetic in there. I don't. Maybe
I don't know. I might be wrong. I know that they have above ground ball returns. So they might have put synthetics in. I could have sworn that the picture he shared was wood still. But anyway, we bowled a tournament in McPherson on the wood lanes a couple weeks or whatever before they put in the synthetics. And so that was kind of a trip down memory lane, because I grew up or didn't really grow up when I started bowling. It was gauge was wood for several years before they put down the lane shield.
The lane shield, and then they went over to full synthetic, which is what they're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, St. John now HPL overlays.
Okay, so they did go synthetic.
Yeah. You need to bowl that tournament. It's like a little I think it's like 3 games, but total pinfall. It's a cool little tournament to do. They serve beer in there and everything.
Yeah.
That's unique. That's for sure. I bowled it a couple times, and it's been a while. Like I said, I haven't bowled on it since it was woods.
Yeah, Jonathan, they did put or Jonathan Tiffany, they did put synthetic approaches in there too. So
cool.
But James Riley ended up 5th. He was the first one out of the cut, and James kind of hovered around 6th, 7th, 8th, kind of pretty well the whole way. He was I don't know, 12th, 13th, 14th or whatever after the qualifying rounds, and then he got up to around 6th or 7th and kind of just hovered there the whole time. So he finished really well, and actually it was Riley, Bo, James were the first 3 off the show. So they and again, it was kind of like the regional last year. They were, and with the wood, and especially having the end pair that just apparently the end pair is still rough, 15 and 16. But we went down for the regional last year and watched Riley and Dylan Bold, and the scoring pace was, when we were there on Sunday, everything that we were watching, the advancers round, or top 24, top 12, everybody was shooting 180s. It wasn't, somebody would shoot 160 and it's like, oh, okay, well, everybody else is shooting 180. So it's not like I'm losing a whole lot of pins there. Everybody was sucking. Everybody was having a bad time. And so the scoring pace was a little higher this year, but they were still just tough. So, shooting 180, 190 wasn't going to gain you anything, but it really didn't cost you a whole lot either.
Interesting. Did you go down? You didn't go down this year?
No, we didn't go down this year. We're busy and getting ready to head to had a lot of extra expenses here recently too, with Angel's Windshield and the DINGO. The Conehead.
Is he still in the cone?
He's still in the cone. He gets his stitches out on Friday. Of course, I get to work from home all day this week to babysit him, because if he gets that cone off, we've taken the cone off to let his neck breathe a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And the first thing he does, but just as fast, he starts trying to scratch his face, and so he scratches that wound back open, and the stitches go right back in, and we're in the cone for another 2 weeks. So
poor guy. It's almost over.
Yeah, he's doing all right, but we got to babysit him to make sure that the cone stays on.
So, I'm sure. I couldn't remember if I asked you if you're going down there to watch or not, so that's why I was curious if you ended up going down there to watch.
We wanted to. I was going to go bowl that last winner spot again a couple weeks ago, But we couldn't, or last weekend, I guess, but we couldn't do that because we just got Angel's windshield replaced, and we're going to leave next Monday. We're leaving to go to Pennsylvania to see the kids and for Cam's wedding.
So like literally the day after we get back from Southwest?
Yeah. So we're going to get back, and I'm going to, unpack, wash some stuff, and then pack again. And then we're headed to Pennsylvania, and we'll be there, or we're going to be gone for a little over a week, 8 days. I think we're going to leave Monday and then come back the following Monday. So, or we'll be back the following Monday. So,
which is back-to-back week shows, everyone. I think we talked about it last week that we were going to go ahead and do back-to-back, but now you know why, because next week would be our normal night. It
would have been 3 weeks, and so we just decided to go on ahead and do a back-to-back, and then go back to 2 weeks from now we'll be back on. We'll have Southwest to talk about. Hopefully, of course, we could average 250 and not really have much to talk about.
You don't start with
averaging 280.
If you don't start the tournament with the front six each game, you might as well go home.
Yeah, that's one of those things. And I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna. I would hope to kind of put something together. And I mean, 2100 is not going to really get anything done, but I mean,
you still want to, it's a compliment.
Yeah, I'd be okay. I mean, if I shot 700 every set, I'd be, I'm not going to be mad at that.
I bowled pretty well down there for single doubles last year. Team event, I couldn't put anything together in the 2 team event sets. I'm kind of hoping that changes this year because I'm one of those guys that I love bowling well for myself, like singles, but when it comes to bowling doubles or team event, I feel like you accomplish something more if you do it together as a group. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's just nothing like team bowling, whether it's doubles or four-man, five-man team. You just feel like when you do it as a group, it feels so much better.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, just that little city tournament that Jesse and Trevor and myself, Eric Moore, and I can't remember who else bowled with us. I don't remember. But just winning that, I mean, the amount of fun that we had, though, with just us guys was a blast. And to be able to do what we did to snap it off with like 2 pins or whatever it was, it was a lot of fun, though, because you just feel like you accomplished something with friends. So,
yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to interject for something to go on ahead and making Homer wait here while we're talking about stuff. I'll do this and we can get back into talking about stuff. I got sent a care package from Mike Lexa, who's the guy that does the bowling ball art stuff. And I'm not sure what's in here. I had to wait to open it live on the stream.
Sweet.
So we shall see what other cool thing here. I'm pretty sure I've got his information in the description.
I can look and verify that for you real quick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just copy and paste it every week, and I know I put it in there at some point, so I'm sure that it's in there. But
yes, it is in there.
Okay, so this guy makes bowling ball art and tapes up packages extremely well. But he does all kinds of things. He made a bottle opener. He made a wine bottle stopper. A pizza cutter, bowls, pens, just all kinds of stuff out of old bowling balls. And so if you have an old bowling ball that's, you've got some nostalgia with it or whatever else, and it's just kind of sitting around, and or maybe you have something that's already cracked and it's just kind of sitting there collecting dust, send this guy something. Maybe you can get it made into, maybe it's your first 300 ball or your first 800 ball or some kind of tournament win or something like that. And it's just, the ball's just kind of sitting around, taking up space, collecting dust, cracking, whatever else. He can make it into some pens for you, or some kind of something nice. Bottle openers, wine stoppers, pizza cutters, knife handles.
I want a bottle opener. Those bottle openers are good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I need the samurai sword of those damn pizza cutters. Massive. You could really hurt somebody with one of those things. But it's so cool, though.
Well, there's something large here.
Okay. All right. Now you got me curious.
Yeah.
Did you send him something?
Yeah. It's in here.
Hi, Felix, what's up?
Interesting. We did send him a couple more balls.
You did? Okay.
I had a halo burn that had cracked, and that's what this looks like.
That's cool.
The halo burn is just one of the prettiest balls I've ever had, and it cracked, and wow.
What is it?
You're about to catch me like Lil Jon here in a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Wow.
Look at that. That is awesome.
Very own pimp cup.
Yeah, it is a pimp cup. That's exactly what I was thinking.
So yeah, so what he did here is he took a bunch of this almost looks like stained glass because he took a bunch of chunks. He cut it up, and he took a bunch of chunks, and it looks like he made a mold and put it into the epoxy and made a large chalice out of it.
That's
picking
cool.
up this sucker would have gotten somebody's face melted in The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade.
Your crunk cup.
This is sweet.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay.
Nice goblet. That is one heck of a tip jar. Yeah, it could be a tip jar too.
Yeah. Well, that's what Angel had suggested, having like a little tip jar for out in the garage to just drop some stuff in every once in a while when I render some services to some people.
Yep.
But yeah, that is, and this again is, I'm sure that this is a unique, one of a kind that he's never done before, because he's done several of those things for us. I think the first pizza cutter he made, he sent to us. And that pizza cutter handle, I mean, I guess you can't say the M word. But yeah, all right. Well, just
technically you just said
put
it.
it up here. Yeah. But wow, this is wild, and considering that, just think about how long. Number one, you got to think of the thing to begin with, and then you have to figure out. Okay, so you got to cut the bowling ball up. Cut the bowling ball up in all these little pieces, and then arrange them the right way, and then I get a mold or build a mold for this thing or whatever. And then I'm not sure what this is on the inside. It kind of looks like the AI core on the inside. If you can see the kind of texture or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, this is freaking cool. I'm going to have to keep this on the.
That is really neat.
Yeah.
The colors really pop. I mean, I can clearly see it from my end of things. So.
The inside of the cup is 3D printed.
Oh. Cool.
Probably holds at least a quart. I'm sure it probably holds at least a fifth.
I bet that thing is heavy.
Yeah, it's not as heavy. Bowling ball, like the cover stock, isn't nearly as heavy as you'd think it would be. It probably still weighs a couple pounds though.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's a couple pounds, but it's not super heavy. And yeah, the inside of the cup is 3D printed. I don't even know how you would have to have like a 3D scanner or something like that to be able to print the inside. I don't even know how this would work, but that's why I'm not an artistic person.
A fifth. Dare me to drive. Thank you, Eminem.
Yeah.
Drink a fifth of vodka. Dare me to drive. All right.
Yep.
Jonathan Tiffany always coming in here with the heater. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
That is legit though. I'm saying like the colors just really pop.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. That's why I like the burn so much. And I'm probably gonna drill I have another one, and it's a 2018 ball, so I need to go on ahead and put holes in that one before something happens to it. I might actually put some holes in some stuff before the weekend too, because I've got some strong stuff, but I don't have my Volt Pearl died that I threw last year.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything else like that kind of lower end. I've got the IQ Ruby, but that's still kind of rolly. So I think we've got a fresh high road down there. Plus I've got a hyped hybrid that's just kind of staring at me. So I might put holes in something on the lower end, because probably what's going to happen is I'm going to take a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to be able to throw it, and then I'm going to be mad. And
yes.
So
Officer, all I had was one goblet of bourbon.
yeah, one goblet. Yep.
Great. Did you get a chance to throw the Venom Shock yet?
Fishbowl. Yeah, I did. I actually am gonna put together the review tomorrow.
I won't ask you then until we're off air. Then.
Yeah, we'll see. The one that everybody's going to want to talk about, though, the purple snack ball is one thing, but the covert revolt is a entirely different thing.
How was it? That's an OG revolt, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an OG, and that thing is filthy.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Absolutely filthy.
When I was still on staff with them, with Motive, I was really wanting to get my hands on one, but I just did not want to pay the prices for people that had them out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking $400 or $500 that people were wanting for that. So
yeah, I think based on kind of what it reacts like, I think it's if you bought something in the Game Breaker line, like I'm gonna shine my GB5 up and see how close that is. I don't think it's gonna be. It's close enough, I think.
Right. I'm excited to see the video on it. You said it's coming out tomorrow.
I'm gonna make it tomorrow. It's probably not coming out until because I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm trying to make. I got Tobias's reviews done for the Optimum Idol, and then the DNA coil, and then I've got the Venom Shock and the Covert Revolt videos that I'm going to put together tomorrow, and then I've got a bunch of report cards, and so hopefully I'll have enough stuff for all week next week.
The Optimum Idol looks filthy, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really good. It looks a lot like the regular Idol. The OG Idol.
Yeah.
At least seeing shape-wise what I've seen in the few videos that I've seen of it, it looks very, very idol-y to me. It is an idol, but the OG idol. Sorry.
Yeah, they actually didn't screw this one up. They stuck to the plan, and they didn't clone us on this one.
Might have to consider putting holes in one of those because I love the OG idol like most other people did too. So.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you shine it up, it might be because the other funny thing is that the numbers are identical to the Covert Revolt, and so if you shine up the Optimum, you might be kind of in very similar territory there too.
Interesting. Okay, I did not know that.
So
touche.
I would be interested in checking that out myself.
Covert Revolt or the Venom Shock going to make the bag for this weekend?
I think both are coming. The Covert definitely. That's just going to go everywhere. It's kind of funny because as I've been, I took my new Summit to filming with those two because I wanted to get some more games on it and kind of knock the new off of it.
Oh yeah.
And the Summit is a motive ball. That's what the weird thing is about it is that's why I couldn't really place it. It didn't feel like a storm ball. It just acts completely different. It acts to me like a Trident Abyss. It's kind of that marble. It just feels like I'm throwing a hunk of granite. It just, for lack of a better term, it doesn't feel like a storm ball whatsoever. And yeah, if the Summit and the Venom Shock were the same color, I'd have a really hard time telling them apart.
It's funny you say that though, because I kind of saw motive vibes out of the Summit on go down lane, but I thought maybe that was just me. Just being smoking something, but
yeah, no, but that's actually the same thing. Is once I threw them all side by side, it's got a very distinctive motive feel to it. So
curious to see what over it looks like on the house shot at Royal Chris.
It's going to be filthy. It's just
Did the Shock live up to the hype though?
Say what?
Did the Shock live up to the hype for you?
Pretty
I know
close.
you were all on one.
Yeah, the thing is I was kind of on the fence about it to begin with because it is kind of phase 2-ish in the shape. It is kind of directional, or it will kind of hook stop sometimes, or just not, or just straighten out a little bit down lane. And shapes like that generally don't look very good for me. This one was better than I expected. Still had some of the super flat corners, but if I can square up. And especially if I take that and a Tour Dynamics to Tulsa this year, it's a wrap.
Just throw one ball. That's all you need.
Well, and that's what Mason Edmondson does every year too. He just throws a Shock up 5 and wins everything every year. So that is the plan.
The Shock will probably get better the more you get that fresh surface off there. Those things are pretty freaking early out of the box.
And I even took it down to 2000 because there was a lot of people that wanted to see a comparison between it and the Scorpion Low Flare.
Yep.
So I took it down to 2000, and then I did my normal filming for it. And then as it got a little shine on it, and so I went back and did the same thing again to kind of do the shinier or less dull.
I get it.
Look.
I see Tobias is in here. I also want to give a shout out to him. He bowled for me for a couple weeks in the Medlin League and on Thursday night. So
he did pretty good too.
Yeah, he did. He did. So we had a decent week last week too. So
yeah.
Norm me off.
Yeah, Norm.
Yeah, because he had Norm shot like 730, 727, I think is what he had.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I had to make way better shots just to shoot 711.
Yeah.
It's all right, but I'm glad. I appreciate you, man. I really do appreciate you on that. Because I got sick that 1 week, and then if I would have missed those 2 weeks that we were gone for the cruise, they would have penalized me on average.
Going back to my goblet here. Once again, the contact information, the email address for this guy is in the description. If you want to talk about having some of your old bowling balls, old nostalgic stuff, transformed into something different and interesting like this, definitely reach out and check into him. And he can, I'm sure he can figure out things on request, but it's almost more interesting to just say, here.
Yeah, here, surprise me.
Do something, yeah, wherever your creativity takes you.
That is really cool. But like I said, the bottle openers to me are legit. I really like those bottle openers. I need to send him something because there's a few items down here that I could send. Actually, you want to know which one I want to send him? I still have a Jackal flash down here that cracked.
Oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah, I might send that to him.
Yeah, if you can see in the light the kind of shimmer. This was a Spectre.
That's so cool.
These are nice bottle openers.
Those are legit. Jonathan, how was your cruise? It was good. A lot of fun. I got to do a lot of things I never thought I'd get to do, like hold a monkey or hold a sloth or ride on a half submarine with a glass bottom boat. That was pretty legit. But it was a lot of fun. It's finally nice today, but it was actually kind of chilly in Springfield all weekend. So I felt like I came back to cold.
Yeah.
Cold weather. I like the heat, so I'm a heat kind of guy. I don't care for the winter too much. This little guy, we don't like cold weather.
Yeah. All right.
But I'm looking forward to bowling with you guys this weekend. You, James, Crouch. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't believe my wife's letting me leave the house by myself and go out of town. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I've got to catch up with the comments. We've had a few things in here. I started with 14-year tin cup for those following along, and I'm now on to Writer's Tears cask strength. It's an Irish whiskey, and I'd been really only familiar with Jameson. I don't drink a whole lot of Irish whiskeys. And Jameson, to be fair, is kind of like the Jack Daniels of Irish whiskeys. This stuff is totally different. And this tin cup is just a super, super high top shelf bourbon. It is just straight up everything that you expect from just regular straight up bourbon. It's just a top shelf version of it. The Writer's Tears is it's on a different level too.
All right, laugh right in the middle of you talking. But Jonathan Tiffany, speaking of cold, you've had this extra gloves
this whole time.
I'm gonna kill you. Oh snap!
So yeah, let me catch up here.
You're good. That's what I've been over.
What's that?
Sitting here. I said, yeah, you're good. My eyes are looking on my other computer too because I'm looking at comments as well. So.
Yep.
Because that's the one thing I don't like about Restream is it won't let me. I can see the comments through our video, but I can't comment, so I have to do it on my computer. So, like when I'm at the house and I'm on the set, I usually just turn it on YouTube, and I can see ourselves, but I can comment on stuff. So.
Yeah.
So if you see me looking over, that's why.
The closest to NY you'll get any closer, and you might as well be bowling in Syracuse. I've been there, done that. Don't recommend it. And the funny thing, we never got into dinosaur barbecue while we were out there, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, you got to have, You know,
What?
you got to have this dinosaur. There's a place called Dinosaur Barbecue in Syracuse, and the couple times that when we were out there bowling, the couple times that we tried to get in there was like a 45-minute wait each time, and it's like we're not waiting 45 minutes for New York barbecue. We did have a couple people from town that went there and said, yeah, it was really good barbecue. I did said it's nothing special, nothing that we don't already have here or whatever. I'm sure for New York it's good barbecue.
Yeah, it's what I was going to ask. What's so special about it that it? I mean, dinosaur barbecue is overrated. We don't mean any disrespect to New Yorkers that really like it. By the way, it's just we're from the capital of the world.
Yeah,
well, I am. Luke's from an hour from it, and I live an hour now. So it's just hard to when people talk about barbecue spots outside of like the Midwest. Even Texas has some solid barbecue. Oklahoma's got some solid barbecue. Texas got some solid barbecue, but I heard Carolina. I don't know what part of Carolina. James, I think I was talking to James. Was it James that said because he was from North Carolina?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Carolina. I don't like the Carolina barbecue sauce is like vinegar based stuff. I'm not a big fan of it.
See, I like the vinegar stuff. So but yes, that makes sense for you because that's why you don't like pickles and all that stuff. Sorry, carry on.
Felix is watching some before he goes and bowls the journal. Yeah, we will talk some about nationals because there's already been some pretty big scores. A female lefty shot 737 in standard singles, which is the highest singles set for the tournament so far.
When was that? I didn't see that one.
A couple days ago. I think the current lead in singles is 717 on the regular side.
What was she throwing?
I don't actually know. She was just kind of pointing it down the side. But there's been a lot of urethane thrown, and there was somebody that shot 760 here recently, and I'm not sure which event it was in. It might have been in singles, so he might have taken that over. But
was it the guy that bowled with John Burkett?
No, because they got the doubles lead, but then somebody else shot 15-15 in doubles right after them because they shot like 1350, and that was the early lead. But now a couple of guys shot 15-15. One of them was pointing a 78U right off the corner, and the other one was throwing a IQ tour or something like that. But the guy that shot 760, the first shot he threw hit 3-board and like rebounded. The next shot he threw didn't get right of like 7 and just kind of frozen roped it. And the next shot was like on top of 9 and it just sat there. And so I don't know if they just really broke them down nicely or if there's a little bit of
15-15 is a pretty good number.
Soften them up a little bit.
15-15.
Yeah, 15-15 is one of the higher double sets. I think the record's like 15-60.
Tobias just said one of the guys had 8-10.
Yeah, that was so 15-15 is probably going to win, which is weird. We're 2 weeks into the tournament. Of course, if somebody's already shot 15-15, and these guys didn't really the guy throwing the 78U just kind of walked it down the side. I mean, he's got a lower rev rate than you do.
Really?
And yeah, throwing a urethane ball just right down the side and, shot 740 or 750 or whatever.
I was going to say, you can get on top of the ditch. It looks like it's in play from the video. Was he just like laying it up 5 or something or inside of 5?
Yeah, he was just pointing it. Yeah, it was not even right up 5. He was just kind of laying it down at 6-7 and just kind of angling it at the pocket. And it was just kind of tipping at the last,
Oh, it's gonna be that way. And then when I make my return to nationals next year, the gutter won't be there to allow me to do that. Go figure.
Yeah, there's going to be boards this year, and everybody's going to whine, and then they'll tighten them up back up again.
Yep, and of course it's going to be when I go. So I don't mind it. I don't mind a little tough though.
Yeah. Oh, what's your favorite recent release of the B7 brand so far? I think it's probably going to end up being the new Conspiracy, but I haven't really thrown it long enough to get a read on it. I do like the Ultimate Defender. I've been able to throw that. I really like the Theorem. I haven't been able to throw that much. The 3.0 is really good. It's a little boring, but it's boring in a good way. Did you throw the 3.0 this weekend?
I did. I threw it. I threw it the first 2 games at both centers actually. Like I said, they actually played pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to, they were a little different. Don't get me wrong, but when it came to shot shape that I was trying to play, they were similar in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks really good, even with the surface on. I think I'm really gonna like it. I can see 2.0 vibes in it, but it's definitely punchier for sure. I had to put it away. I still can't find a place to throw the theorem. I can't get it to stop.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is I tried to throw it and it just hooks too much. And so I took the shine off of it and try to slow it down. And hopefully once I get some games on it, I'd really like for that endeavor to tame down, because that could be my weak ball, or that could be my Volt Pearl or whatever for stuff. But that cover just needs to settle down, because it's faster than the theorem is and hooks almost as much.
The theorem is just on drugs, man. I'd finally get left when you had to just chase it in and get real deep, and I still couldn't get the thing to stop. Even just feel like I was almost putting no hand in it at all just to get it to stop, and it still wouldn't stop. So
yeah,
I got a little lazy at one point late and didn't want to go to the car to get some out of the car. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to keep forcing this, and it probably cost me, but it is what it is. I took a loss on brackets for the weekend, but yeah. It just felt weird to bowl on something different at Springfield. It felt like we bowled on the same crap for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you haven't always gone down there, have you?
We've gone the last several years. It was kind of hit and miss for a couple of years, but then I went with Anthony Lockwood's group several times.
He was with us this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But then after we didn't go, even though I'm pretty sure they still had the tournament COVID year, or maybe they didn't, but
started it.
Yeah, they started it, but then they ended up canceling the rest of it.
Yeah, the weekend that we were supposed to go, they canceled that week. We had already had a hotel and already paid for it and everything.
Yeah.
And they waited till Wednesday that week to cancel it. Amanda and I picked a place that we were just going to stay at, and where we could cook inside and everything and just stay inside. And once they canceled it, we were kind of pissed because we just wanted to get away at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't remember. I thought you said that you went for a while and you didn't go, but that's one tournament within the vicinity. You guys need to bowl the Ozarks.
Yeah, I went a couple times with Topeka group, and then skipped a couple of years, and then I started going again with Lockwood's group, and I went with them for a couple of years. But then the year COVID didn't happen, and then the following year nobody got in touch with me, and so I just didn't go in 2021 because didn't have anybody to go with, and then got on with Trevor the last couple of years. And then now just because of the timing, we're going in June, first weekend of June.
Trevor, we're actually going again in March.
Okay.
We're going the weekend after we go to Southwest. So instead of us going the weekend before, we're going the weekend after. So,
okay. It should hopefully be a little bit warmer then too.
I hope so. We did go to Springfield Brewing Company for you. I went twice.
Yeah. No, there you go, twice.
And me, Johnny, and Amanda both laughed at you, by the way, because our only thoughts were, well, when Amanda and I got down there Friday, we actually sat at the same table. So all I thought was you eating the jambalaya, sitting there sweating your butt off.
Yeah. It was kind of warm. It was good, but it was definitely warm.
Well, I had the Cuban sandwich, and it had beer mustard on the sandwich, and I didn't realize that it had spicy horseradish in it. And I'm sitting there eating, going on town on it, and all of a sudden, all I can feel is like my nose on fire.
Yeah.
And man, I'm like, whew, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
No running.
Yeah, horseradish just hits you right between the eyes.
Yeah. It's legit though. I love that place. It's just a cool building too. So
did
you know that they have a distillery attached to it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, there's a distillery attached to it, and they sell the whiskey and bourbon and stuff outside of there, or not outside of at Martin City, or not Martin City, but Springfield Brewing Company.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we're getting off the bowling topic here.
Yeah. Oh well.
I just forgot to tell you that I went there for you.
Yeah. We kind of hopped a couple lily pads over to it, but yeah, the 3.0 I think probably is my favorite. I've thrown that one a little bit more than the Ultimate Defender, but they're kind of neck and neck. I like the theorem, but I can't throw it.
Same.
And then the new Conspiracy and the Hater are both really good, but I just haven't really gotten a chance to do much more with them yet. And that GB5 has to calm down. I have to do something with that because that ball reacts so good, it's just too strong. So I need to, whatever I need to do to calm that cover down to get it into the throwable range, mirror shine it. I don't even know, but it rolls so freaking sweet. It just hooks too much.
What was it at box? The GB5?
1500.
Okay. So,
which is just trolling because it's already strong. And then they put it at 1500. I don't know where there's enough oil to throw that thing, just period.
And you left it at box when you tested it, right? When you did the video?
Yeah. I've been testing everything at box because most people just drill a ball and they throw it out of the box. And so yeah, I'm doing it more or less because I thought, well, throwing stuff at box is kind of dumb because they box surfaces are to look good on the wall in the pro shop. People think, well, that's how they design the ball to be. It's like the companies aren't mirror shining balls with performance in mind. They're making them look pretty for the wall. So you have the super, super shiny ones or you have the really, really dull ones. You usually don't have the kind of in-betweens because the shiny ones are the flippy ones and the dull ones are the ones that hook. It's just a very obvious look, visual cue as to what the ball is supposed to do or what the kind of idea is. And you can't replicate box surface. You can't get back to it because they use, the machinery and whatever, or their processes, whatever else, you can't copy it. So the best thing to do is to take the factory edge off yourself. But there's a lot of people that just get stuff drilled and they throw it out of the box. And so doing the out of the box stuff is so I can tell people it's like, okay, you probably ought to take the shine off of this one, or you probably ought to, bump it up a little bit. And of course, in the case of the GB5, there's no one should ever throw that ball out of box. It's just stupid. Just stupid.
On the 3.0, before I forget, I was going to ask you this because I know I've seen you throwing it a little bit. James could probably answer the same question if he's still in here. I noticed that mine lane shined really fast, and I'm not used to Brunswick balls lane shining that fast. It just felt like I put for about a half a game, and the surface was gone.
It is very weird because the cover, I think, makes it look shinier than it actually is because it does come at 2000 grit, but it doesn't look near that dull to start off with. And then, it seems like it shines up awful fast. I think the colors of the cover, for some reason, make it look a little weird.
Maybe that's what it is. If I said 5 games, that was stupid. Did I say 5 frames or 5 games? It was 5 frames. It lane shined super fast, and I looked at Trevor and I'm like, did yours lane shine this fast? Because I was not ready for that. Because that's what makes the purple so good is that thing holds surface so long. I remember when I got the purple tank with Moda, I threw it 5 shots, and the thing was lane shined already, and it wouldn't hook. And I was like, what in the absolute heck is going on? Yeah. Sorry, I'm cleaning the kitchen. Sorry, what ball was that about? The 3.0. Did your Widow 3.0, did it lane shine really fast out of box? Just curious. You can answer in here, and we'll keep moving on.
Do you have more balls reaching your 5-year mark? Yeah, I got the Halo burn that was December 2018, so it's over the mark. I do need to go ahead and put holes in that one. I'm not sure on the rest of the stuff. I don't think so. I do have I've got a haywire sitting up there, or not a haywire, a high wire. Sorry for anybody. I just got really excited there, and it's 2016. But I'm saving that either to trade Jordan Richard for something or see if anybody else might want a high wire, because it's not the first time I drilled the high wire, it was lefty, and it's just not a shape for me, lefty. Zach Rhodes was kind of halfway interested. Jordan Richard just loves them. It seems like every 6 to 8 months, and that she gets in the staff group looking for high wires, and so I might just send her something and say, hey, just send me an Optimum or something.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a good trade.
Also, I do have this Taboo sitting here staring at me that I need to do something with that too.
That's got the OG
gas
core in it, because they've made tweaks to it since the original gas mask core. You've got to drill it.
Yeah, and see, well, that's the other thing too, is I'm drilling all this stuff. I'm drilling the New Brunswick stuff, but I also have the covert revolt that I had to drill, and then I need to drill the Halo burn. I'm going to drill all this stuff, but I'm not actually going to get to throw it. Unfortunately, because I like enough of the new stuff, and I already have like the X Factor Reloaded.
Yeah.
That I love that one quite a bit. And then the Phase Tour, the overseas one that I drilled, I like that one quite a bit. But I just got so much other stuff to throw. I think that the talking about stuff for the weekend, the X Factor Reloaded is definitely going. I'm probably going to take both of my Summits. The Shock and the Revolt are probably going.
How many are you taking?
I mean, I'll probably take 8. I'll probably take 8 just because. But yeah, a couple of Summits, X Factor Reloaded, the Shock, the Revolt, the Conspiracy, maybe the Hater.
Tour Dynamics, maybe?
I was thinking about it because I don't have anything that's kind of lower end. Everything, I mean, the X Factor Reloaded is 20 years old, so that kind of, it's a little bit less hook, but it's not necessarily low hook. So that's what I was talking about, maybe drilling the Hype Hybrid, or I've got a couple of Pink Badgers down there. I've got a few Idle Synergies. Be nice to have an excuse to put holes in that. Of course, again, the Endeavor is supposed to be that ball, but it's not that ball.
Probably that ball is.
So yeah, I might do either the Hype Hybrid or the Idle Synergy to have something a little bit cleaner, weaker.
Yeah.
And then probably going to bring the IQ 78 just because with
spare ball.
Yeah, with some shine on it, it just is nasty. It just and if all else fails, if it's over under, and apparently it's a very cliffy shot, so there's a bunch of oil inside and it's super dry outside, and so if it comes down to it, I can just walk the 78U down the ditch.
Did they change it from what it usually is? Usually every year we bowl, it's the same thing.
I think that Bolero tweaked it a little bit, and it's
just
even more.
Middle.
It's even more of a launch it down the side house now apparently. So.
Because my bag's always weird when I go to that tournament because I have to take stuff that doesn't hook. So I take this is the tournament where I never throw high roads anymore, but I throw high road, or I throw the Venom recoil. If you remember, always goes with me to this tournament. Like it never fails. Venom recoil is always in the bag. Outside of those two bowls this weekend, I really don't have an idea what to throw. I can't tell you the last time I threw surface there, other than obviously the Venom recoil is solid, but it's lane shine as lane shine can be. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't think a Theorem's going to be the answer. If I can't get that thing to stop, I don't know if I want to throw it there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I can take it. I'll probably take like an RSTX2, which I haven't thrown on lately. Venom recoil, high road. I don't know, some cleaner stuff. I actually think I'm going to take my Iron Forge. I think I'm going to take an Iron Forge this year down there. The pretty tall pin. If you remember, we put that pin was pretty tall.
Yeah.
So I think,
because it was kind of a slower ball, and so we decided to juice the core a little bit.
Yep. So I think that one could definitely get a look. Outside of that, I don't know. I'm trying to limit what I take. Then again, I'm going by myself, and I'm in the car by myself, so it really doesn't matter how many I take. But I also don't want to be running out the car every 5 seconds. So.
Yeah, I'll probably take 8, but I'm not really sure what to take either, because that's kind of been the same the last couple of years. Just nothing has looked good. I think my high set in the last couple of years is 660. It just I can kind of hit the pocket, but nothing really looks that great, and I don't know.
This is your year. Your year.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you and I, when we bowl doubles this year, we can actually both of us can put a number up, and we can have a big number.
Yeah.
It just seems like it fails. It's one or the other. Either you bowl really good and I bowl like crap, or I bowl really good and then you grind or bowl like crap. It just never fails. But we finally cashed together in something recently, so maybe we can capitalize on that crap.
Yeah, I was throwing it really good the other night filming, so hopefully that hangs on and I figured something out. And yeah, we'll see. It seems kind of stupid to drill something extra when I've already got a bunch of stuff sitting up there, but I need something weaker. And I've got the Ruby up there, but it's still kind of early and slow. And the problem with the Ruby is if you can't square up with it or play straight enough with it, if you have to open your angles up a little bit, it just doesn't quite have the gas. It's not clean enough to get down the lane. it's clean, but it's not clean enough to keep you straight on dry. And if you happen to open up your angles at all, it gets a little wishy-washy. So I need something with, again, like an idle synergy that basically rolls like a ruby has more differential, so it can cover that ground a little bit better.
That's the other one I'm taking. A ruby. I'm going to take a ruby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Top speed might be a good one down there this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've got to take some solid covers though. I can't take everything clean. That's the problem. Is every time I get down there, I get so trapped into throwing. I want to throw something that's earlier and slower, but it just hooks so early. They hook so much down lane that I get trapped into. Remember, like last year in doubles, I started with the RSTX2 and I couldn't get the ball to stop.
Yeah.
And then I grabbed the high road, and finally, it just I don't know.
Yeah, that one. And I think that's normally the play is trying to play straighter, but you've got to have that little. You've got to kind of trap it. You can't let it like outside 6 or 7 because then it's just going to take off. But you can't open up your angles too far, so you almost have to play that little kind of third arrow, but like third arrow to 8 or 9. You have to kind of just parallel everything inside and kind of play, a straighter line to the pocket, kind of fade the middle a little bit.
Unless you can play that North Rock heater.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, and that might be the other thing is that we might be throwing a red urethane ball.
He said, looked at one time we were bowling. It was the Southwest, and we had Austin Bowls next to us. And I said, I walked up to him and I said something, and then I said, "Hey, you doing all right?" He goes, "He's bowling well." I see, and he's like, "I'm exhausted." I said, "Yeah, when you have to give it the North Rock heater in this building just to score, that's what happens."
Yeah, and see that's the other thing is that there has actually been several people scoring with white mixes.
Really?
Yeah, there were some people that actually, it's like, somebody is just, Riley was telling me about it, that somebody was just going nuts with a white mix, and so some other people started drilling them up, and they're just like, just walking them down 5 and pointing them right in, just absolutely killing with them. And so that's the other, I just drilled one of the retro Roto Grip spare balls, and that might also see some action just straight down the ditch.
All right. Interesting.
I'm not going to be.
Are you and I on 2 teams or just 1? I think we're 1 this year.
I don't know. I would have to look at that again. That might be something interesting to pull up because we've got Shannon Sellens is bowling with us again. For those that know that name, Jonathan. Shannon.
I know Shannon very well. Thank you.
All right,
Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan, Shannon. All right, Southwest tournament. So let's look at. We also have Blake Demore and Spencer bowling with us too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Spencer Robart is bowling with us. Pretty sure team event is. I know I bowl with Crouch both teams. I think you and I only bowl together the second one, and that's the one where it's you, James, Crouch.
We bowl together the first one. So it's you. Yeah, it's you, me, Bruce, Crouch, and James. Okay. And then the second set, I bowl with James, David Johns, Andy Klein, and Keeler. You bowl with Bruce, Fahaj, Crouch, and Dakota Phelps. The second set.
I get to bowl with Fahaj?
Yeah.
Fahaj. Man, let's have fun.
Man, Fahaj should have gone into comedy because he's Fahaj.
I did crack, but
I
just made my night telling me I get to bowl with him on one squad.
Yeah, so we've got Tanya Ramampur is bowling with us. Shannon Sellens is bowling with the women's teams. Of course, Andy Klein, the Springfield group. Plus, we've got Blake Demore, which is Spencer Robarge's big brother. Jason Elliott's bowling with the group. Anthony Santoyo. So yeah, we've got the team names are always pretty good. The typical Joe Bush, a rhino is a fat unicorn.
Yep.
Then we've got it looks like, California Penal, give him the heater, just a bit outside.
Give him the heater, Ricky.
Yo Bartender, Jobu needs a refill. Average Joe's, Team Blitzkrieg, Globo Gym Purple Cobras, Skills That Kills, Girl Scout Troop number 417.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, Linda always comes up with some good team names. So
Who's on that team? The Girl Scout troop, number 417.
Tiffany Morris, Alicia Savage Bone, May Lane, Tanya Ramampur, and Shannon Sellens.
It's not a bad team.
So yeah.
Alicia, she used to be really good. She used to throw really good. She bowled for college, and then I think she got sick and didn't bowl for a while. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or I didn't know she was still bowling it, to be honest with you. And then we seen each other for the first time back at Southwest last year, and she still throws it really good. It's just you can tell that she took some time off. That's for sure.
Yeah, we've got we got a handful of pretty stacked teams. Let me see. The second team: Joe Bush, Blake Demore, Jason Elliott, Anthony Santoyo, and Spencer.
Good team.
That could be.
In the years past.
Say what?
Didn't Casey Murphy go with us in years past?
I think he has before. But yeah, I think he's got enough people he's got his own group now. And I think he's got enough people, or maybe just because, yeah, he would bowl with us. And then there was a couple times where I bowled again. I bowled more team squads with him.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. That was right after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you and Angel bowled like team squads, right?
I'm not sure if Angel has done it. She hasn't bowled the last several years. She kind of likes being the fill-in, or if we need a sub, she normally is one of the subs.
For some reason, I thought you guys went down there and bowled with Casey's group once, and she bowled one of the teams.
I did. She didn't. I think it was just me that went down the one or two times with Casey.
I got you. Okay, that's what it was. We bowl team at 1:30 on Saturday and 6 o'clock Saturday. That's the only bad part about bowling the two teams is once you're done, you got to rush food, and then we're back up first thing in the morning. So, and then at least we get home at a decent time in Springfield. I'm sorry, Wichita is only for me. It's an hour 58. You, it's probably what 2.5.
Yeah, 2.25. It's not too bad. 2.25, 2.5, probably from the bowling center to my front door. Topeka, it's 2:15, and of course we're on the far north side of Topeka. But
just where we live, we're right by the turnpike. So yeah, excuse me, it's an hour 15, I think, or hour 58, 57, somewhere in there. Sorry, disregard.
Yeah, the effect looks freaking sweet. Mine is it's a little directional. It's a little strong, and then it kind of wants to go a little forward off the end of the pattern. So it's not one that I'm going to be throwing, but it looks better for everybody else than it does for me. Okay.
I'll let you catch up on some of those. I'll be right back.
No, yeah. Yeah, the effect it's just not for me. If it was a little bit weaker, it would be, but it's just too strong. It gets me too deep, and then it wants to go a little directional / forward, and so it's not one that's going to work out for me. The Outer Limits Pearl is just way too strong too. There's no prayer that I'm ever going to get that one to work out. I will take the praise. Peasants. Yeah, dinosaur barbecue is overrated, especially when you're from, I don't know, and that's what everybody said. It was okay, but it was nothing special, especially when you're from Kansas City. It's going to take some pretty special barbecue to be good. Dinosaur barbecue is good for what's in the area. Carolina has different sauce. New York is pizza territory, getting even decent barbecues hit or miss. Yeah, some of the best pizza I've ever had was in the airport in Philadelphia, because that was our layover flying back from Syracuse. And so we left Syracuse, and then we laid over for a couple hours in Philadelphia and got some pizza there. And that's just it's the best pizza I've ever had in the frickin' airport in Philadelphia. So definitely we have some decent pizza places around here, but I would have to say that even, that's just different. It's just different.
A lot of ours are chains around here, though.
Mm. And see, that's the other thing is AJ's NY Pizzeria that's over there by Westridge is solid. It's nothing special. They do brick oven pizzas in Dodge City, which that brewery down there, if you ever get an excuse, like going down to hopefully Liberal has another regional or something to make the excuse to go down to Dodge City, because it's worth taking a weekend just to drive down to Dodge City to have the Mexican place that we always go to, and then the brewery with their brick oven pizza.
AJ's closed their doors, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
They recently closed. My favorite pizza place in Topeka is actually the brewery at 75. I think.
That's what you were saying.
We need to get you there. It is brick oven pizza. We need to get you there. So, beer's good, food's good. But yes, they closed up. I really liked AJ's had killer calzones.
Yeah, that's what I always got at AJ's was the calzones.
Gosh, they were good. Sorry, carry on. I'm jumping in late since I went to.
Yeah, going back to this, I think we were talking about the Lefty 30 minutes ago. She was throwing a GB4 hybrid, and she didn't put anything on the ball. I mean, just very nice and easy, slow, great executed shots that just a very soft off her hand. So, James kind of has the rundown since he's been decent. NC barbecue is decent. Western is tomato based, lots of pulled pork, less emphasis on texture versus KC barbecue. Yeah, it's one of those things. If you have pizza in New York or Chicago, you're going to be ruined on it. Or if you have seafood on the East Coast, like Lockwood lived in, or not in Boston, but basically in Boston.
Yeah.
For a couple of years, and he's like, dude, I can't even eat the seafood here anymore. It's just not close.
We had some Galveston down there by the ocean was good too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had Cardinals to Cardinal. If you're still in here, I want to hear about Vegas. Cardinal's one of my I don't know how to say this. One of my more experienced, very good viewers that I trust, but I trust what he says. Let me put it that way. He knows what he's talking about, and so getting a recap from Cardinal would be very much appreciated.
Hi, Ashley.
taking 2 urethanes and a new blue hammer. Yeah, that's what the early report is that urethane's definitely in play, and the gutters are in play, playing straight. I haven't seen Wriggles keep sharing stuff, and nobody's really any deeper than third arrow. And we're talking about getting into single sets when people are still playing straighter. I guess urethane straight down the lane is the look in both on both patterns.
To say, we haven't seen much from Team Event yet, have we?
No, everything's been doubles and singles so far. I'm pretty sure.
I know. I wish I was bowling this year. It really makes me mad.
Yeah, it's illegal to soak the GB5 in a bucket of oil instead of acetone. Put mine at 3K and it looked pretty good. That's still going to be too much for me. But the other thing is that the Brunswick covers hold surface a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is that James keeps telling me, it's like, well, you just need to take your NV Tour to 4,000 grit. I'm like, well, just throw it for a couple games. And I've thrown it for a couple games. I threw it for a couple more, and I've thrown it for a couple more, and it's still at like 2,000 grit. And he's like, you just need to take it to 4,000 grit. And I'm like, well, I don't know what's taking so long with this surface, because I threw just filming. I threw like 5 or 6 games with the GB5, and it's still pretty dull.
Yeah.
So the stuff just holds the surface really well.
That's why I was asking you about the 3.0, because it's well known that Brunswick covers the surface out of box lasts so long. That it just surprised me that they lane shine so fast.
Figure out when my clone doesn't hook anymore, tried all kinds of stuff, it just stays straight. That sucks because the clone is freaking sweet. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that sucks.
Man, When you guys going to the OC, the method solid was a good one at the OC. I used to throw Brunswick equipment before he went on staff with swag. Jonathan's he's not going this year, but he's gonna start going again next year when it's in Baton Rouge. James and I are going with our group in the middle of July, so we still have several months left before we even. I mean, we've got 2 or 3 months before we even start thinking about it, really. So yeah, and most of it's. I've taken reactive stuff the last 3. I've been there the last 3 years that I've been lefty, and I threw a promotion in team set of my first lefty set at Nationals in 2021, and pitch black for the back 6 that year, pitch black for all 9 in 2022, pitch black for team last year, ZenU for doubles and singles last year. And this year, I'm sure I'm going to take the Infinity. I'm not taking a pitch black this year, but I'm taking a purple hammer, the black hammer, and the 78. You may be taking the ZenU too. I'm not sure, but definitely taking. I don't think I'm going to need anything more than the purple, the black, and the red.
With those 3 urethane options you just explained, don't need a pitch black.
Yeah, and I don't really need to take anything else. I will probably take the Pure Madness because that ball is sneaky good. The Columbia ball, the big hook and Columbia ball that just came out, it's very, very smooth. It reminds me quite a bit of like the Crux Prime.
Yeah.
So I will probably take that, but I'm just not going to waste my time with a whole lot of other stuff. I'm sure it's just going to be urethane up the ditch, like it always is. One of Jonathan Tiffany's crew shot 300. Braden Traffus. Sweet.
Hey, congrats. Can't tell you the last time I shot an iron score. It's been a while.
Eric, I felt Southwest you needed something stronger. I was throwing storm stuff and just didn't feel any of that matched up well. I definitely think if I had some B7 stuff that I would have been better. And that's the weird thing is everybody always tells me every year, it's like, oh my God, they're hooking. Oh my God, they're hooking. And then I can't ever get anything to hook. It just, everything sails. Everything goes and then wiggles, and it's freaking weird. So I might be good with hooking stuff this year.
Did you talk to Trevor about how their weekend was?
No, I haven't talked to him. I don't think he really bowled that great.
Yeah, he didn't have anything under 730.
Oh, okay.
Trevor didn't shoot 849 and lose.
Oh, but somebody told me he struggled. So,
No,
but I mean, Trevor can shoot 730 and struggle at the same time. I saw it. God, we bowled a tournament. It was I think it was Super Bowl doubles one year at Lunar.
Yes.
And he shot 190 the first game and then did not shoot a game under 254 or whatever, 256, 257. The rest of the day, the next 7 games did not have a game under 250 something and was just bitching and crying the entire time.
He fried out after game 1, and it was 170, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He fried out, and he did that again at Olathe East.
Yeah.
One game where he fried out, lost his mind. Like, he was ready to put his stuff away and walk out the door, and just proceeded to just not shoot anything under 260 the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might talk to him. Like, he had a pretty good look, from what I understand.
Okay. So yeah, I'm still going to take I'm going to take a bunch of stuff I probably shouldn't take, but I am going to take plenty of strong stuff. So the 3.0 is going, the new conspiracy is definitely going. I'll probably take the GB5 too. The Venom Shock's going, Covert Revolt's going, X Factor Reloaded's going. So yeah, I need something lower end just to have it. But yeah, I'm already taking a bunch of big stuff anyway. So I have a 2LS single drill I won from Kyle Troop. I kind of wait. I was there for a while. It's like, well, I want to collect stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to drill it. But then I started thinking, it's like, well, so either sell it or drill it, because if you can get some money from it and you don't really care, you rather have the money than just go ahead and sell it. But if you're keeping something, there's no reason to not drill it. It's like, well, I don't want to drill it. It's like, well, are you ever going to sell it or get rid of it? Well, no. It's like, okay, well, then it's just going to sit in a box on a shelf for the rest of it. Why do you even have it at that point? O'Malley's IPA.
This is the one that I've been telling you about that I've got 2 put aside for us.
Well,
I was going to bring my tequila tonight too. I'm sorry.
that's okay. Yeah. We can hook it up in a couple weeks, and I'll still got plenty of tasty stuff for you to try.
I'll be bringing my. I definitely want you to try that tequila. It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, Trevor shot almost 2,300 top 5 and all. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'll have to send him a text then.
And then when you ask him how he bowled, he's just like, "Yeah, I bowled okay."
I bowled all right. I don't know. I got tapped. All weekend, and
I'll still never forget him shooting 849 in singles and then got beat by handicap.
Mm-hmm.
That is a kick in the nuts. Sorry.
Yeah.
I give him so much crap about that all the time. Oh, you just got to. But yeah, you'll definitely want to talk to him. I don't know what obviously he threw Brunswick stuff. You got a ton of Brunswick stuff, so take a look at it and see what he's got.
Yeah, I would imagine he threw the 3.0 and the big time quite a bit because he likes that big time quite a bit.
He also throws the crap out of the sensor solid.
Yeah. I don't have anything quite like that. I've got the Venom Shock is actually kind of like a sensor solid, but as far as the big time, the Ultimate Defender is kind of close. I'm pretty sure the big time might be ASIM. Is it an ASIM or a symmetric ball? I can't remember.
The big time?
It's
asymmetrical, I believe.
Okay, so then it'll be pretty close to the Ultimate Defender then.
Now you have me debating on it.
I might be in good shape.
I
am on to. Well, I'm almost finished. I'm pouring very, very little tiny amounts of all my whiskeys because I want to. I haven't drank it. I've been savoring these, and so I'm on to the Aberlour 16-year.
Oh, it is
cask.
It is the big time is a symmetric.
Okay.
Once I said it was ASIM, I totally started debating in my head that was incorrect. So.
2LS Idle Synergy. Yeah. Idle Synergy is amazing. I probably will drill one of those because I think I've got 3 of them down there. So I probably will go on ahead and punch one of those. I wouldn't mind having one of those back in my life too to get some games on it so it tames down and, kind of turns into my Storm B28 says NY Pizza's junk.
That's false.
Tisk. Yeah, Cardinal said thanks, Cardinal. Looking forward to hearing.
I love
going to
New York.
Catch up on Discord for $5. You can get lots of info, free puppy therapy, and memes for days. Yeah, we have a meme channel on Discord, and that's one of the most important channels. And then we have a doggo channel. Ashley, hi, finally catching up to that one. Looking forward to Cardinal. Chad Kloss, I think, there was some other, I think Mitch Beasley is bowling today too. So
I like Chad. Chad's a good guy. I've known Chad a long time.
Yeah.
Him and I actually roomed together a couple times when I bowled the regional stuff back then. I met him. Funny story how I met Chad Kloss. So I met Chad. I used to bowl. Laurel Lanes in Raytown, little 16-lane wood center I tell you I grew up bowling. They had the longest running PBA event in the history of the PBA at one point. He ran it for like 25, 30 years in a row. And it was just a regional. It wasn't a national tour stop. But Chad was there every year. And I met him as a youth bowler bowling the Pro-Ams. And then we kind of we talked and still continued to talk. And then when I started bowling that stuff, it was like, oh, hey, remember me? Yeah. And then we had some drinks together and we roomed together a couple times. He runs a pro shop out of Wisconsin. I can't remember what the name. Bowlers Depot? Not Bowlers Depot. Not Bowlers Depot. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. But apparently it's a pretty good pro shop from what I understand. So Chad's a good bowler.
Yeah. Eric Moore said that Trevor did in fact throw the big time, the 3.0.
Shocker.
So yeah, the big time's fairly close to an Ultimate Defender because the Ultimate, it's ASIM, but the Ultimate Defender is still, that's that same shape and it's still that kind of slower ball motion, and the 3.0 that's going anyway. So Ryan McLaughlin says new OC leader 3206, Mitch Beasley's team.
Oh wow. Okay.
So team might actually be kind of halfway tough this year.
Question for you: should I take my 3.0? Do you think it should make the bag to Wichita?
I don't know, the right sides, and that's the thing is all the it's the righties that I hear from that say, oh yeah, they're just flying, and then I go down there and again I bowled 4, and everybody said, well, this one weekend was kind of wet, and then it's like, okay, well I bowled 2 teams, I bowled 4 sets with Keeler's group, and I went 2 weeks later and bowled 3 more team sets with Casey's group. And it was just freaking wet the entire time. And then last year was wet. So
but got down to the high end, they flew.
Yeah, I think just the left side of the lane, for whatever reason, it's just, or the ball reaction slow or something like that. But
you think it should be the bag though, just to have it, just in case?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, just an honest question.
I would take it just to have it.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Okay, go
ahead. James, question for both of us: how do you feel like this league season's gone? Any goals that you had, and how are you doing with those?
I haven't hit any goals, to be honest with you. I shouldn't say that. I've been better mentally in some things this year. Where I need to be better mentally is when I get into tournaments, and that's a totally different animal because at leagues, it's just a different comfort level when you go from tournaments to leagues, in my opinion. But league-wise, I'm still not bowling as good as I want to in general on Thursday nights. But I feel like it's definitely better than what it was a year ago. So we at least have the improvement. I think I'm at least up almost 10 pins from last year, but I still feel like I've left a lot of pins out there. And then obviously bowling at gauge is a crapshoot, so you just never know on Tuesday nights. You can throw it amazing and not put 10 down because carrying that building sucks. So I feel like it's been a good year overall for me. It's definitely positive going into next year / summer. I'm excited to bowl the Thursday night doubles scratch league.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that you and I bowled that one year, the first year of it together. I'm going to bowl with Crouch. So I'm looking forward to it. I think I can finally work on some things. I'm really looking forward to seeing, actually, now that the surface is off, what the 3.0 looks like on the house shot at Royal Crest. It's just really hard for me to get out of that lane shine NV tour in the building, but just it is what it is. But I don't know. I don't feel like I've hit goals, so to speak, but I definitely have taken the step in the right direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
So yes and no. The season started off kind of slow in both leagues, and I hadn't shot an honor score in a couple of years, and I shot 300 on Friday in September or something like that. So it's nice to finish a game. And then actually I had the front 9. I've had the front 9 several times this year, and I've screwed up a couple times in the 10th frame. And I wanted to get my average back up over. I wanted to get my average back up over 200 or 220, and be 85% on my 7 pins, over 85%. Now it's gone. I was there for a while. I was like 87, 88%, but the first couple months of the year have been awful. We've been busy, and we've had a lot of stuff go wrong, and just busy, and then getting the Brunswick stuff in there now, and equipment shifting back in and out and back and forth and whatever else. And so the first couple months of the year have tanked what was actually going well, because I was up to almost 230. I was at 228.5 in December, and then now a couple months later, I'm just a shade under 222, and so I was 9th or 10th on the average list, and now I'm out of a captain spot. But I think I'm going to pick that back up, and so I should be fine. I'm not terribly worried about it. I have bowled enough. I mean, and that's the thing is averaging. I've probably averaged 205 for the last 2 months, but I'm still over 220. So I had a good enough go of it for 3 or 4 months before that. I'd like to stay over 220. I'm down to 75% on my 7 pins, but I've missed 2 or 3 of those a week. I've been terrible on those for the last month.
I think I'm at 280, and I was kind of around you. I was at 224, 225 there for a while. And then, like you just said, I was averaging like 205 for 2-0 for weeks. I could not get game 3. I lose game 3 every week. And then finally last week, I finally had I threw it pretty good last Thursday night, just in general. And maybe that's what's wrong on when it comes to the burn on Thursday night. But I don't know. Sometimes I also think I get out of balls too quick, if that makes sense. I think sometimes I like if I'm scoring with something, it's not always okay that hook, so I got to get out of it right now. It's let's just jump a little bit and then move your eyes and then or maybe change your hand and get the ball to go through the pins a little differently. And I think that I fight that a lot, and that's a big problem I need to fix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just thrown it terrible. I threw it really. I threw it good on Thursday 2 weeks ago. And first game was slow, and then the last game I just got screwed. Last week was just awful. It was just awful. It was good. I threw it good for 4 or 5 frames at the end of game 1, and the rest of the time was just freaking terrible. So,
Jonathan Tiffany actually just really asked us a good question.
Yeah.
We both can give advice on this. So you want me to go? Or you want to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Well, first of all, don't have Luke put the phone in front of your face and tell you don't get nervous.
Don't get nervous. That's what you need.
Don't get nervous. Actually, you know how much that takes nerves off. But no, honestly, the best thing to do in that situation is control your breathing. Breathing's a big part of that. Just take a little deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out a couple times. Get up, don't overthink it, and go. That's all you can do. I mean, your legs are going to shake. It is what it is. It doesn't matter if you have 25 of them. You still get nervous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually, the last couple again, the last couple times, because I've had the front 9 7 or 8 times this year, and I had the 300 the first time I had the front 9, and then
you almost had it again like 2 days later.
Yeah, well, yeah, KCO that weekend.
Yeah.
I shot 296. Yeah, it was my first 296 because I left the 4 on the whatever the 3, 6, 9, 10 on the other side.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
And then the next couple times I had the front 9. I choked on one of those, and then I had the front 10, and I choked on that one. Just duck hooked the living shit out of it.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things that. But I think the biggest thing is that you got to focus on the shot. If you start getting ahead of yourself and thinking about, oh my God, I can shoot 300. Oh my God, I can shoot 300. You've got to focus on it's like, okay, you can throw the best shot in the world and get screwed.
Yep.
So you just have to focus on. So I mean, you might get lucky, you might get screwed, but you just have to go up there and make the shot and then see what happens. So don't get ahead of yourself. Go up there, continue to focus on the shot and just making the shot. That's what I think when people get up into the 10th frame, they try to make the ball strike instead of just throwing the ball good. And the other thing is that a lot of people, they see somebody's on the front 9 or 10 or up in the 10th frame or whatever, and then everybody stops bowling. It's like that doesn't help. So even if people do stop bowling, even if you know that people are taking video or whatever, still take your time. They can wait. They can edit the video later. So just take your time like it's a normal shot. That's the thing is once you get up in the 10th frame and people stop bowling, then it rushes the process. It changes the dynamic that you've had for the last 30 minutes getting to that point.
Yep.
Basically. So
yeah,
this is a good suggestion. This is something that Anthony Judd always said, move 2 left every shot, because he said he would always move. He made a big move on the last shot because he would always hit it harder because he's like, I'm not gonna fluff it out there and not get it back to the head pin. He was just, I'm gonna make sure I catch this one. I'm not gonna fluff it out there. And so he would always move 2 or 3 boards on the 12th one because he knew he was going to get a handful.
Yeah, that makes sense because it's natural that you're going to do that though, because it's just nerves. Once again, when it doesn't matter how many you've shot, unless you've just got a bunch of them and you're bowling on tour and it's just another game, you move on. It's natural you're going to get nervous. It's just you're human. It is what it is.
Yeah, whether you get nervous or excited, it's kind of all the same. It's the same effect. It's just kind of a different reason. So whether you get pumped up about it or you get nervous, it's still something that's changing your kind of rhythm.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're right though. You're pretty spot on though when it comes to the people stopping and taking their phones out and everything. I wish people would stop doing that. I get it, but it's nice when you're bowling tournaments though. And in league, it happens. It's worse in league than it is in tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
When you do that, in my opinion, but
Yeah,
a lot of times you have a lot of people that bowl that don't get to see that stuff very often. And then when you go bowl tournaments, I mean, naturally it's going to happen.
Yeah, people tend to keep bowling at tournaments, or if people do stop, it's just a couple pairs right next to you,
Yes.
which is still annoying, but it's fine. But if you're doing it in league, that you have a couple pairs each side of you, like everything goes quiet.
Yeah.
If somebody knows that you're doing something, and so that's another thing is that the good thing about Medlin, people keep bowling because it's a scratch league, and your teammates don't clap. I mean, there's nothing to clap for until after the game's over. So they don't, if you hear some clapping going on, then all of a sudden you get eyeballs and it's like, oh, well, somebody's got the front 10 now. And so then that's what makes everybody stop and watch. And so if you just don't hear any clapping until the game's over, it's like, oh, well, somebody just dropped 300 down there.
Just don't be do it. Put the phone in your face right by the approach. Just don't do it. Word of advice: don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. That's our new thing now too. We do it. I haven't done it to you since you've been on the left side as a return of the favor, because you did it to me, you did it to Bruce. That's just because on the left side you haven't done it as much on the left side. Yeah. So it's one of those like let him get a few out of the way, and then we'll get in his head a little bit.
Yeah,
you're gonna earn this one, dang it.
Yeah, and see that's kind of the interesting thing is that the nerves have come back a little bit because I don't have a whole lot on the left side, and so it's always kind of I'd like to get a few more of these lefty, but I've had plenty of chances. I think I have more 299s lefty than I do righty, or I've had plenty of chances. I've just been a whole lot less successful on the left side than I was on the right side. On the right side, if I had the front 9, 75% of the time I finished the game because I think I had almost 30 in the high 20s on the right side, but I've only got like 2 or 3 299s, a single 298, and a 297. So I'm like high 20s for like 32 or 33.
Yeah.
On the front 9, or I guess on the final ball. I'm sure that I've screwed more of them up than that, but I have 3 or 4 299s, 298, and a 296 lefty. I've got 3 300s, so I get the job done more. Or I got the job done more on the right side, but
that's got to be a cool thing for you though. Now that you're left-handed fully, and then when you get into a situation like that, though, your feels are different. Like okay, if I'm nervous, that means I'm actually enjoying this game. I'm really enjoying with this. It's a new challenge to me, and I think that's big in bowling, especially when you bowl as much as you do with the filming and everything you do. In tournaments on top of that, because bowling can get really stale. It really can, especially when you're going through a rut. And when you're going through a rut, it's really hard to make. What's the best way to explain this? It's really hard to make something fun again. But at the same time, you can bowl with your friends and everything, that helps. But something like you with the arm switch, that's cool though to me. The fact that you're nervous again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm the same way. When I get in the situation, I still get nerves, just like everybody else does. I don't shoot him as much as the next guy, but I've had plenty of them. But it's still at the same time. My legs don't shake anymore. I don't get that feeling.
Yeah.
But it's still a challenge at the same time. It's you and I can have fun with each other. Don't get nervous. It's not like if it was my first one, you wouldn't be doing that to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just another way to have fun.
Yeah. And that is kind of interesting. It's a fresh twist on something because it's still fun to do, but when you've done it so many times, it's just like, okay, well, you throw the shot, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, like Jason's got 50 of them, so it's still fun and it's cool. And I think again, Jason's Jason's in the senior ranks now, or he's almost in the senior ranks.
Almost.
Yeah, he's almost in the senior ranks, and so I think I'd imagine that the older you get, they become a little bit fewer and far between. Or I mean, not that 50s, not that I mean, you still got guys shooting stuff into their 70s. Yeah, some of the older guys in Topeka, like Rick Schaff and Jerry Sanders and all those guys that were still shooting 300s when they're 70, 75, 80 or whatever. But I'm sure it's a little bit fewer and further between, and you're not sure when the next one's going to be your last one. I mean, when you're 30 something or 40 something, that's kind of like, well, whatever. I've still got all kinds of time. And mine is like, well, yeah, it's a different hand. The coordination, I don't think, is ever quite going to fully get there. And so it's one of those things. I'll take everything that I can get. But yeah, it's nice to have a refreshed kind of. And it's kind of like starting over again, but not, because I know what I'm doing this time around. But there's an extra little challenge with the coordination, and kind of you get to kind of reset the numbers and whatever.
Oh yeah. When is the first end of bowling season golf outing? As soon as possible, please.
Yeah. Heck yeah, I've still got all those Lake Shawnee gift cards burning a hole in my pocket. So
that's
I hope
our partner. That's our teammate for the tournament.
That's I know. I noticed that.
Right.
Yeah.
The Woody.
Wait for that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get out there and get in a couple more rounds before we get there this time.
I'm really looking forward to golf this year. I don't know what it is. I'm just really looking forward to it.
It's so much fun. That day is just so much fun.
The golf tournament day?
Yeah. It's just,
we have a blast.
So much fun.
We have a blast. And we get, like I said, we get all Trevor this year, so we don't have to worry about him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're good. We have a full team for 18 holes. So that means he gets to hit number 17 first.
Yeah, that's
we're making him take the first shots, by the way.
Yeah. We need Trevor for hole 17 to actually get one up the hill.
It's so awful. 39 on the front nine of Eagles Landing. Oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I get nervous anymore. It's more excited. Sorry, I'm just reading the stuff. I know you're featured. We kind of got through our stuff here.
Yeah. Jason's got a good point on this, is that some people take more time to think about it and make sure that they're like focusing or whatever, but sometimes that screws with your timing. Like if you get up there and not like rushing, but just pick the ball up, get set, and throw it. And that way, obviously, if you're on a big string, you're feeling good, the feel's right, everything's fine, and so don't screw with it. Just get up there, get set, and go throw the ball. And most of the time, you'll just kind of be on autopilot, and it'll come off better than if you stop and think about it and try to think about what you're actually doing. It's like, well, you just had the feel for the last 9 or 10 shots. Just get up there and throw the ball before you think about it. You can think about it after it's over and you're sitting back down. That was one of those things that I had. I've shot 800 on 5.0 something several times. And, well, it's really helpful because it's like, well, 5.0 something, I'm going to shoot a big set, but I'm not thinking about 800 when I've got 5.05 going in. When you have 550 going in, that's a different story. But 5.05, it's like, okay, well, it'd be nice to get a 750 out of this, and then you have a big string of strikes. I've shot 800 on the nose after having 5.0 on the nose after game 2, and I got up there on the front 11, and I'm like, well, I can either shoot a couple things or absolutely nothing. So I'm just going to throw the ball and see what happens. I mean, there's nothing else I can do. So I just got up and threw it, and I struck, and so 300, 800 right on the nose. But yeah, it's one of those things if you stop and think about it, because the one time I did stop and think about it, I shot 799 because I picked the 10 off of a 610.
Oh.
I needed strike 8 spare or strike 9 whatever, and I got strike 610, and then I went back to the monitor to do the math, and then I just leaked it and picked the 10 off of the 610 for 799. And I'm like, you know what? Why do the math at that point? You either got it or you didn't have it, or you should have known it before you even went back and looked at it. Like, I didn't need to go back and do anything. It's like, pick up the spare and then figure it out later.
Yeah.
But
You're not wrong.
no, I stopped, and of course, having a 799 is kind of cool. You know, when you have a chance for an easy, when all you need is strike 9. I got the strike, and so it's like, well, I just need to get 9 now. It doesn't matter if I make the spare. I just need to get 9 or 8 spare, and you know, eight spare should be pretty easy. Oh no, I fought my way out of it, but having a 799 is kind of cool.
Hey, that's something you can say you've got. I think you're right though. Turning 5.0 over 550, I think the swing's a lot looser. I think.
Yeah, that was my first one. I had 807 going in, or 507 going in, and then the second one I had 509 going in. I've had one with 501, 503, but 50, 501, 503, 507, and 509.
You know it's there. Like,
Yeah,
you see the number, you see you're turning 5. You know it's there, but it's time. It's like, I'm gonna have a number here. So
yeah,
like
with 50, you're like I said, with 50, you're thinking about 750. You're not thinking about 800.
Oh yeah, 100%. So anybody will take 750 and walk away happy. I don't care who you are. 750 is a solid little set. Yep. Sorry, carry on.
Teach me to bowl good. The cliff's killing me. You got a Summit now.
There you go. Was it one of your old ones?
Huh? No, we got him. He sent us a lot of ball cups and stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of ball cups, breakdown pair of ball cups we need to get rid of too.
Yeah. Still got. I finally got those shipped out to everybody, but yeah, we still have a stack of breakdown pair ball cups sitting here that we ought to do something with. We've got the nice kind of black graphite ones, and then the kind of the cool graphite red ones. We have some of the solid color ones, the salmon.
I need to give away some more breakdown pair merch.
Purple. Yeah, we should.
I need to give some stuff away.
Stuffs.
Trying to figure out how I want to do that. At some point in time, I need to give away some breakdown pair merch.
One of the Galaxy ones. These are kind of the color shift. This looks like a color shift boa.
I like that one. Yes. Who in the chat's got some breakdown pair merch? Give me a raise your hand emoji in the chat. Whether it's a hoodie.
Yeah, the hoodies are awesome. It's getting a little too warm out now for hoodies, but
love those damn hoodies. I still wear them all the time. I wore mine all weekend in Springfield. Well, 2 of them. I took 2 of them.
Yeah.
Get you some of that breakdown pair of merch. If you're giving stuff out, I'm not hand above hands out. Look at Lander. There you go. There's some hands up.
2 weeks until Jason's my old guy for the over/under tournaments, and he'll be able to get in senior brackets this year at nationals. I think it's 50, not 55. I think it's 50. You get in the senior brackets at nationals, he could crush some of those.
That man could crush a little bit of that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
John Lander, my guy with the breakdown pair merch.
Yeah. John Lander doesn't get nervous look for 300s anymore because he bowls in St. Louis.
Okay. Freaking St. Louis. I swear to God, that's like 60.
It's not quite Emporia, though.
No, it's not Emporia. Emporia has not been, score-wise, hasn't been as high. We were down there for I went with Larry Burton and them for the veteran tournament. They were swirly, man. They weren't, not like you think. I think they changed their house pattern up a little bit, and I don't understand why. And you're living in a small city, why would you not want scores? But whatever. But I'm pretty sure that they changed something up because it's not the same.
Yeah, I haven't been to Emporia since Johnny Clark ran some sweepers there for a while. Yep. The last time I was in Emporia, I won one of the little sweepers like 10, 12 years ago. It was just a couple years after Angel and I got married. So
Johnny used to own the pro shop.
He used to own the pro shop there, and he ran some sweepers. And the last time I was there was one of the sweepers that he ran. Thanks, Richard. 50 on senior brackets. So, yep.
Crouch, there you go, buddy.
Yeah. Might do a little sponsoring.
Uh-oh. I mean, I'll send some money.
Yeah, an extra $100 in senior brackets for Jason's probably better than putting that same $100 on myself.
Jason, you want some money for that tournament? Let me know. I'll send you money.
Yeah. And we'll
Senior brackets.
Chaz and Dallas usually hit the all-in button.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
And God, it's so weird that every single year Chaz makes sure that he puts the lefties on the same pair, and it worked out really well for me last year. But Chaz and I do not bowl well at the same time. It just does not happen. If Chaz has the look, I'm going to suck, and as soon as Chaz starts sucking, I have the look. I don't understand what it is, but he bowled fairly well in team last year, and I shot like 540 or 550, and then he had a great idea to set the lanes up for us really well in doubles and singles, and I think we shot about the same in double the first set. They were just so freaking hard that but then I shot 660 in singles, and he didn't have a good singles set. But then the year before, he bowled well in team and doubles, and then didn't have a good single set, and I had a good single set. So,
do you think in Baton Rouge that they'll actually have a practice session for team event like they do in Vegas?
I don't know. That could be kind of tricky.
It will be tricky because, correct me if I'm wrong, we'll have to go back to the arena setting, won't we?
Yeah, we'll be back in the arena. So, yeah, and I know that they have kind of limited team practice sessions this year, and I think the team practice sessions are actually at the Orleans, because they were all on site. No, we're at South Point.
Yeah, South Point's got the
yeah, something was at the Orleans a couple years ago.
Wasn't it the Bowler's Journal?
I think it was the team practice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the team practice session at the Orleans a couple years ago. And then the last time we were in Vegas, well, no, it was the last time we were in Vegas. 2022, I'm pretty sure it was at the Orleans. And then last year in Reno, it was all in the same building because they had it down in where they used to have the 40 frame game. Yeah. They had it on the first level of the National Bowling Stadium, and then the Bowler's Journal was on the low end, and then the tournament lanes were on the high end in Reno. But yeah, team practice and Bowler's Journal are at the South Point Center. I'm pretty sure they were at Orleans or Gold Coast. Yeah, they were at the Orleans. So, Jason goes April 7th. So yeah, we'll be able to get a scouting report for him here in a couple weeks.
They go right around the time Trevor and them are going. I think they're the weekend of the Mexican American in Emporia. Mm-hmm. I think Tulsa opens all at Broken Arrow this year. Yes, it is, which I'm actually happy about.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be happy about that, but yeah, I've finally gotten I think I've gotten the secret now. So
yeah, I know. Usually,
I'm not mad at that.
Usually, I bowl well in that center. I just didn't have it last year. I don't know what it was, so I apologize. It's because we bowl together. It's what it is.
Yeah, well, and the other thing that nobody had it good on the right side. The way that pair broke down was just wretched.
It was terrible. When I felt like I threw good shots, I didn't get the corner out. It was a 10 every time. So maybe it was just the pair. I guess I lied. We bowled together the year before, and I bowled well the year before. So maybe that's just.
Yeah, because you had that's the same way that when Bruce and I used to be teammates. Now when we went with Keelers. It was just, one of us would bowl well and the other one would suck. We didn't ever bowl well at the same time.
What did I have the year before? 770?
You had 770 in singles, and then you still shot something pretty solid in doubles.
And then Wichita was flipped. I had a big set in doubles in Wichita.
Yeah, because you shot 750 or 760 in doubles at Southwest last year, and I shot like 660. Yeah. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't. I didn't really help you out that much.
We still made money.
Yeah, we cashed in that, and then I repaid the favor in Tulsa a couple months ago, and hopefully we can get on the same page one of these days.
My Tulsa last year was the most consistent tournament I think I've ever bowled.
Mm-hmm.
literally did the same thing every single set.
Yeah, you were within like 20 or 30 pins every set.
Every set. Yeah, I just was ready to get it over with. Love Broken Arrow. Absolutely whacked that house. I'm stoked for the team. Yeah, Luke found out the easy button there last year too. So
yeah, I'm still figuring out how to lefty, and I just paid attention because Mason Edmondson, I just never figured out it, because Trevor and I a couple of years ago we couldn't get deep enough. The ball was just hooking off the lane, and we watched this. Mason's just dumping a Venom Shock up 5, and it's kind of like, how the hell are you getting it through the fronts? But that's just like the little secret sauce. If you can just firm and direct off the corner, because then that other guy was killing it with in the sweeper.
Yeah.
It shot like 79, 60 something, or 79, 79, 59 with an IQ Ruby just pointing it off the corner. I'm like, okay, well, fine. I guess I'm just going to point it off the corner. And that once I got it kind of dialed in, yeah.
That's the crazy thing about Broken Arrows. The fronts hook so much.
Mm-hmm.
They always do.
That's why I keep telling people it feels like the pattern's laid down backwards. And even if you go look at it, like the heads are super dry, and then the arrows, there starts to get a little bit of oil, and then there's a little bit more oil at the arrows. But yeah, for the first 5-10 feet, it's just freaking dry.
I need to show you the video that Amanda took of me last year. Where no, I did not lay it down before the foul line. I laid it down normal, and you watch it hook and then stop in the fronts. Like it hooks, I lay it down, and then stop, and then points. It's the place is very, very unique.
Yeah, but we are going to hit that Mexican place like 8 times.
Oh yeah, dude, we're going. I want to go back.
Just make that every meal. I'll be fine with it. It'd be nice to get back to those breweries, but I just don't know when we're going to fit that in.
Problem is when we roll 2 team events like that back to back, it's just hard to get in. I mean, we can go afterwards, but we're going to be dying for hunger by the time we get done. What time do we bowl our first squads?
Well, I think we bowled I think this last year.
Bowled in the morning.
Yeah, we bowled the morning, and then we bowled the afternoon squad. I can't remember what we did. Well, actually, yeah, James and I went with
Hunter and Megan.
Yeah, Hunter and Megan over to the Mexican place after we got that Saturday. But it's like we bowl at 9 and then like 1 or 1:30 or something. So by the time we get done bowling, get out of there, it's already like 5 or 6. And
yeah, it's impossible. I bowl 1 team event so I can actually do something.
Yeah, because the year that that's the thing is we bowled the 1 team squad in the morning, and then we went and hung out at those breweries the rest of the day, and that was awesome.
Yeah, we watched college football, and then they had a lot of activities. They had cornhole, and then the ring toss thing.
Yeah,
a blast. I love it.
That was great.
I get it. We're down there to bowl, and if we're there to bowl, we might as well bowl 2 team events. But yeah, I enjoy doing that stuff though. I love hitting new breweries and things like that. So, but it's all right.
Yeah, and then that year too, we had double and singles was like noon or 12:30 or something. So we got to go to Kilkenny's for brunch.
That's right. We did bowl the late.
Screw this bowling nonsense. I don't even know what we're doing because the bowling's miserable.
If you remember right, we had the late squad. It was like 3:00.
It was in the afternoon. We definitely had time to go get breakfast / brunch or whatever and take our time in the morning.
Oh God, Kilkenny's breakfast was so freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I want to go again. Makes me mad. Yeah, because it was just you, me, Angel, and Amanda, wasn't it? Raylan wasn't with us. I don't think.
I don't think so. Well, no, she was. She was.
I think you'd say you and Angel, and then the 3 of us. Then Kilkenny's the bomb. Yeah, Kilkenny's is good. I love that old school Irish pub look. I've always liked that.
Yeah.
It just got that. It's got a different feeling when you go in there. I definitely drank me a Guinness, and I don't drink a ton of Guinness. It's a little too thick and dark for me. I know you like them, but you know what we got to do Thursday night, by the way, or we can do it Sunday. We can do Sunday since it's St. Patty's Day. We've got to have an Irish car bomb, baby.
I haven't had one of those in years. I love me some Irish car bombs, so yeah, we might have to make that happen.
You probably had one with me as the last time when we did it at at the bar at Wayne Larry's.
Yeah, I think it was the last time we had one was at Royal, like 2 or 3 years ago.
We got to do the
Irish
Irish
you guys
car.
on Fridays, I think, is the last time that we done it. So
Yes. So we can either do it Thursday in celebration of it, Sunday. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
well, it would probably be cheaper at Royal Crest than a Bolero establishment. It'd probably
Thursday,
be
I'm
like $15 Irish car bomb.
We'll do a pre-bowling Irish car bomb if you want.
Yeah, see if we can get there in time.
Just let me know. I'll get there early. I always do. I always go up there and eat. We got about 4 minutes left here. Unless you got more stuff you want to get through.
No, I think that was kind of just a nice chatting up the chat the whole time. So, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of. We talked about some nationals. We talked about some Southwest coming up, and Ozarks didn't sound like it was a whole lot of fun for anybody. And we don't go for another couple months, and then nationals is still another. Nationals is still 4 months away, so I'm just not even really thinking about it yet.
I'm excited to hear your report back when you guys actually go to not nationals. Well, that too, but Springfield. It was, gosh, they were not fun, and we were always on the same side of the damn building. We never get to bowl on the fucking low end.
Yeah, we're always on the. I have bowled on the low end. I've been to Springfield probably almost 10 times. I don't think it's quite 10 times. I've been there like 8 or 9 times. I have bowled on the low end once, and that was on the high end of the low end. So it was like 13 and 14 or 15 and 16 or whatever the crap the last pair of the low end is. So,
apparently most of the scores come out of the low end. So when you're on the low end, apparently it's allegedly that they're better. The scores are better over there.
Yeah, well, that's the only time I've shot 700 there. I shot like 715 or 720, and it was on the low end. All the rest of the time, my highest set is like 630 or 640 on the high end.
And guess what pair I was on? The same one we were on last year.
Yeah.
Trevor and them were all in our pair. So the pair to the left of us, we didn't know them, but then the girls were on the in pair.
Yeah.
I'll be Wichita and Pittsburgh next month. Good luck, Richard. But there was something else I wanted to run by you too real quick before we got off here. I don't remember what it was. And I slipped the tongue here a minute ago, but I apologize. Gosh, what was it that I was going to ask you? I don't remember. Must not have been important. Going to be home this week. I might actually run over there if you got a free 10 minutes for me to switch out grips.
Yeah. I'm going to be. I think I've got to go do some filming with Zach Wednesday night. Maybe we might do it after league Thursday night. I'm not sure because he's got a. But otherwise, yeah, I work from home today, and I'm going to be here. I'm going to work from home all week this week, except for Friday, and you're going to be working Friday anyway. And James and I are leaving. He's going to get here about noon. And I think he's got a couple balls to drill, and then we're going to take off like 2-3 o'clock, and then whenever you get down there, we'll meet you at Central Standard. So we get checked into the hotel, and then head over there, and whenever you make it in,
you guys go eat. Don't count me in for food.
Okay.
Go eat. I'll just meet you at Central Standard.
Yeah, Central Standard. Okay, yeah, we might just go over the Anchor or something because that's like a block over. So
I have to go. I'm going to eat with Dylan. Dylan and I always have dinner together on Friday night. So I'll go have dinner with him, and I'll meet you over there.
Okay, that'll work.
Gosh, I don't remember what it was. But anyways, yeah, I can. Honestly, we could probably switch out our grips at Royal Crest for all that matters. I just need to swap a pair of grips. But you have to tear them out. I can probably tear them out and just bring them to you.
I can just bring the tool. I can bring the tool instead of
grips. And super glue. Do you have super glue in the bag?
Yeah, I've got. No, I don't carry super glue in the bag, but yeah, we can make something happen. I probably need to carry some just in general. I need to get one of those grip tools so that I can carry stuff to carry a grip changing kit just in case.
Probably if you yourself, honestly, I could probably Tyler to let me borrow some super glue.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Just don't let me use that crap that they have in there.
Yeah, nothing but the good stuff here.
That's right. It'll be my first time at Wichita this year. Good.
Yeah.
I like North Rock. It actually looks really good now that they've changed the stuff up. Didn't look bad before, but maybe I'm impartial, but I think it looks cool. You haven't been there since, have you?
No, not since they redid everything. So yeah, it's going to be an experience for me.
Still hate the white screen masking units, but it is what it is.
Yeah, well, if bowlers weren't such bitches, then they could actually put on the screens what they should have on the screens. Like, it's not going to be. But yeah, everybody's going to get distracted by stuff, and I probably would too, honestly. But yeah, something on there would be nice instead of just the white screens.
I forgot to mention real quick. I was watching. I know you'll get a kick out of this. I was watching I was listening and watching the Pat McAfee show every week, or every day, and they had the UFC pay-per-view on this last weekend, and I watched. Johnny and I and Amanda actually got the UFC pay-per-view in our B&B. Watched it. It was a late night. We got like 4 hours of sleep going into Sunday. Fantastic, especially with the time change. Yeah. So they had him on there, and they're on ESPN for 2 hours. So there's obviously you can't say curse words. Yeah. So the guy that they won the main event fight was on there, and he said the F-bomb 14 times. And when he got done, Pat looked at him on the call and was like, "Just so you know, you said the F-bomb 14 times." He says, "Well, I can say it a little more if you want." And you could see Pat's reaction every time he said it. It was kind of like, I'm trying here. But all right, we're done here, I think, unless you got more you want to talk about.
Nope, I think we're good. Thanks once again to Mike Lexa, the bowling ball guy. Again, this used to be a Halo burn that's now a tip cup. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, this is freaking sweet. So again, if you have old bowling balls laying around that are nostalgic or whatever else, and you don't want to just wait for them to crack, or they have cracked and they're just sitting around collecting dust, get them turned into something cool. The email is in the description if you want to get in touch with him about getting something done, because that's this was going to head out in the garbage, but I thought this was way too cool looking of a ball to just chuck.
Yeah.
So now I've got something very, very cool here.
That's phenomenal. I love it. Looks so cool. Looks like a Picasso painting or something from here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of looks like stained glass or something, or like it's kind of got that stained glass effect.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Well, John, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess I can start turning the lights.
All right. Yep. I think that's going to do it for us. It'll be 2 weeks from today that we'll be back. We'll have we'll have tournament to talk about, and I think that's the Masters is coming up somewhat soon, so we might be able to preview that or talk about it. I can't remember exactly when it's at, but
I think the Masters is actually when you come back. So it's not while you're gone. It's when that next week.
Yeah, and Riley's actually going out for that, I'm pretty sure.
Really? He's going to bowl the Masters? Good for him.
Yeah, Zach Rhodes is going out too. So yeah, we'll have a couple of hometown heroes to talk about, hopefully.
I did forget to mention this one thing I did want to mention, and now I'm it before we sign off. I was talking to Wilkins 2 days ago. No, I talked to him yesterday on the way home from Springfield. I would like to come back on because I told him I'd like him to come back on. I want to talk to him about early success he's had on the tour this year, what he's doing differently, and what maybe his mental thoughts on why he's having success this early in the year compared to where he's been years past. He's a really good story right now, and I think he'd be really good content for us. So
yeah, he got picked up on a league team too, PBA league team. So
he did, and a lot of people are confused on the whole Kyle Sherman situation. Kyle Sherman actually, not only is he injured, but he just had a baby. So a lot of people didn't. He had their title in their video where they did a live thing, big announcement, but it was like at the very end of their 2-hour conversation. So a lot of people didn't focus. Yeah, Kyle I think he pretty much got cut because of the baby. I mean, I pretty much wiped for the rest of the year on this season. So he's probably going to be chasing the PTQs next year, unless he has some kind of exemption that they can give him. But
Yeah, he's just unfortunate. He's had so many things coming his way. So
Yeah, poor kid.
yeah, hopefully he can kind of, get the wheels back on the ground next year and and not like, having a kid's a bad situation. It's just, it's been the injuries. He's finally kind of getting rehab from all of that. And now he didn't have the baby, of course, but
now baby time, and baby time we know as
yeah,
a lot of work.
a baby was had. So
yes, it's crazy. Nothing got out, and then baby came, and then boom. It's, my baby's 2 weeks old or a week old. That's like, oh crap.
Yeah. So
but, all right, peeps. We love you guys. We appreciate you. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
yeah. Yep. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.